So we had 27O, correct? Alright, so we're going to come over here to the right, and this is going to be page 28.
On the right hand side?
Yeah. Page 28A. And we're going to title this Trinomial Factoring. Bless you. And our learning target for today says I can factor a trinomial in the form of x squared plus bx plus c. Now to do this, we're going to use something called the star method. And we're going to use the star method every time because it's going to help us with our next steps in factoring, and it's going to build a base for us, a pattern that we can use every single time. So you're going to draw a star each time that looks like this. And each time you're going to put the same things in the star. So C goes on top. Each time, whatever number C is, it's going to be up here. If it was a 5, what would we put up here?
5.
If it was a 6, what would we put up here?
6.
If it was a 72, what would we put up here? Fantastic. Down here is going to be a B every single time. Your B, whatever this number is. If it was 2, you'd put a 2 here. If it was 3, you'd put a 3 here. If it was 72, you'd put 72. And then here and here is 1. Now, the reason we put 1 is because there's not a number in front of x squared. The number in front of x squared is 1. If there was a 3 here, what do you think we would put up here?
3.
If there was a Jesus here, what would we put up here?
Jesus.
Fantastic. And then the fun part comes when we factor. So your factors go on the bottom down here. So you're going to put 1 factor here and 1 factor here. Now we're going to talk about what that means, but what we're ultimately trying to do is we're trying to find two numbers that multiply to give us C, whatever it may be, and add to give us B. And so that's going to be our factors. And then we're going to put those in parentheses. And our end result is going to look like this. And it's going to say x plus factor, or an x plus your other factor. Or it could be a minus. Harris, are you taking notes or are you taking a nap? Alright, so there are 3 steps that you need to follow. The first step says to look at C. And what that means is to look at the sign of C. So C can either be positive or what? Negative. It's magic. And when it's positive, you have a certain rule. So if C is positive, both factors match the sign of B. So if C is positive, then they'll both be positive. This is a plus. What if it was a minus? What if B was in minus? What would they be? Negative. They would both be negative. It's magic. Now, what else could C be? C can be positive or it could be what? Negative. Alright, so if C is negative, the big factor matches the sign of B. Now, right now, I understand that this is just a lot of a lot of words that don't really make sense, and we're not sure what we're going to do with that. But I want you to write down the rules because that's going to help us with our procedures once we get to it. So we're writing down the rules so that when we do the steps, you can know what I mean. So C tells us what the signs of our factors right here are going to be. They tell us if both of these are going to be positive, negative, or opposites. Step 2. Are we ready or do we need a moment? Does anybody need a moment? Okay. It is hot in here. Is anyone else warm or is it? Okay. Damien, I know you said you were warm, but you have on your sweatshirt, so I didn't know if it was just my sickness or if it was actually warm. Eric? What? I will do whatever I want to with that. That is my air conditioner. Write down your notes. Come on. Enunciate. My ears are stopped up. I can't understand you even more than usual. Alright, are we ready? Are you ready? Okay, everybody has to be ready if Chandler is done writing. Alright, step 2. List the multiples of C. So if it was 16, we would list all the numbers that multiply to give us C, to give us 16. What are 2 numbers that multiply to give us 16?
4.
And? 4 and 8 don't multiply to give you 16.
4
and 4, 2 and 8, 1 and 16. Is that it? Okay. Alright, so you list the multiples of C, and then 3, find the pair that adds to B. Are you writing? Are you sure? Because I just finished writing this and you're not writing. Okay, are you ready to see what this means in action? Yes, no, maybe so.
No.
Does anybody need a moment? Okay, I think someone does.
That's great.
Were you out sick?
Yes. David, let me know when you're ready. Elias. Okay, let's do this. Alright, our first example. The directions say factor each polynomial. Right, so our first problem is going to say x squared plus 14x plus 24. Alright, so draw your star every single time. Alright, now, according to our star that we drew at the top of our paper, that was our base star, what goes on the top?
24.
24, good, take a point. Because that's C. So this goes up here. What goes in the bottom right here? 14, good, take a point. And what do we put at the top since there's no number in front of x? 1, good, take a point. Are y'all giving your team points whenever I tell you to? You have the strip right there in front of you. Okay. Alright, so step 1 says to look at C. If C is positive, both factors match the sign of B. Is our C positive here? Okay, then both factors are going to be what? Positive. Good. So what we're going to do next is we're going to list the multiples of 24. That's what it tells us for step 2, and they're both going to be positive. Alright, so what two numbers multiply to give us 24? 6 and 4. Yes, ma'am.
12.
Wait. She's asking a question. Because this is it's what you do with your star every time. So whatever number is in front of x squared, that's what goes on the top. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. Alright, so we said 6 and 4, 2 and 12, 3 and 8. Now, which of those adds to give us 14? Because remember, we're multiplying to get 24, but we're adding to get 14. Which one? No, son. Which of these pairs adds to give us 14? 2 and 12. So you put 2 here, and you put 12 here. Is everybody with me so far? Are you sure? So the first thing we did was we drew our star. We filled it in with everything except for the green. Then we listed all of our factors of 24 after we looked at C and saw that they're both going to be positive. Then we said that 2 plus 12 is 14 and 2 times 12 is 24. Now these are your factors. And do you remember up here when we wrote x plus factor and x plus factor? Right here and right here? This 1 is in front of x. So if it was a 3 right here, what would be in front of our x? A 3. So that's why we write a 1 each time, because we don't put a number in front of x. So we write it as x plus 2 times x plus 12. That's it. And we're done. So each time that you get your factors, you're going to put 1 here and 1 here. How do we feel? Feel okay so far? It's not like I've rocked your world or done anything crazy. Alright, let's try another one together. Let's do x squared plus... plus 12x plus, now I gotta think of, I got it, 27. Alright, x squared plus 12x plus 27. Alright, so what are we going to do first? We're going to do our star, and then we're going to put our numbers in there, right? Okay, cool. What goes on the top? Good. And then I put my ones. Why do I put ones?
Because it's in front of 8.
Because it's in front of the x squared. Yeah. Because in front of x is what number? 12. So we need to make sure that we say that it's in front of x squared. Alright, now we need to list all the multiples. Well, we need to look at c. Since c is positive, both factors are going to be what this time? Is this positive or negative?
Positive.
So they're both going to be positive. Awesome. Alright, so let's list the multiples of 27. Is there anything else?
18.
Alright, which of those adds to give us 12?
9 plus 3.
9 plus 3. Alright, so what's going to go on the bottom of our star? Does it matter which way we put it? It doesn't. So I can put my 9 here and my 3 here. Alright, and then how do I write it in my parentheses?
X plus 3.
And it doesn't matter which way you write it in your parentheses either. X plus 3 and x plus 9? What, darling? Okay. Alright, are you ready to try one without me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to make B negative this time, but all you have to do is make both of your signs negative. Alright, so I'm putting mine on 28B, because I'm out of room. So we're going to call this problem C, and you're going to stop that.
Is that me?
Not you. Alright, x squared minus 15x plus 54. That's the problem you're going to work out on your own without me. Both of your signs are going to be what this time? Negative. Good. Take a point. So did you get x minus 6 times x minus 9?
Yep.
Fantastic. Chandler, did you get that? Huh? Well, then your head shouldn't have been down, should it? Tater tot. I don't know what you did, baby. Alright, Cindy, put, yeah. Yep, we have 30 minutes left in class. No. You know we go until the bell. Come on. Alright, now, why are they both minus this time? Because B is negative, right?
Yep.
Alright, so list for me the factors that you got for 54.
18.
Good. And then you added those together to get 15, right? And then you put it here and here. And you made them both negative? Okay. Alright, una más like this, and then we're changing this to a negative. Are y'all ready?
Does the smaller number go first when you're...
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
When C is positive, it doesn't matter. Alright, let's do... Alright, y squared minus 17y plus 72. Now, do we change anything just because it's a y? No, we still do the same thing we've been doing. Just in our parentheses, we put y. Alright, what'd y'all get in your parentheses?
9 and 8.
Y minus...
Why minus 9?
Okay, now, what if I say What if I mix it up and say x squared minus 10x minus 24? Now, our chart on the front told us that we have to look at C first. And if C is negative, what's going to happen? Look back and tell me what it said. The big factor matches the sign of B. So our big factor is going to be negative. And what I mean by big factor is the bigger of the two numbers. So what goes up top here? Negativo or positivo? Negativo. Take a point. Alright, what goes on the bottom? Negative 10. And then what goes on my top, left, and right every single time? 1. Alright. Now, instead of worrying about our signs for the moment, all I want us to do is list the factors of 24. So everybody tell me two numbers that multiply to give me 24.
3 por 4 me.
Alright. Now, our big factor is going to match the sign of B. So which one is B, positive or negative?
Negative.
So our big numbers are all going to be negative. So negative 6, negative 8, negative 12, negative 24. Pardon? I still can't hear you. The big factor matches the sign of this. Alright, so now we need to add these together and see what gives us negative 10. So negative 6 plus 4 gives us negative 6 plus 4 gives us negative 2. Alright, negative 8 plus 3 gives us
Negative 5.
negative 12 plus 2 gives us negative 10.
Negative 10. Bingo.
So we put negative 12 here and 2 here. Alright, so how are we going to write it in our parentheses? Are we going to write x plus 12 or x minus 12? X minus 12. And then what about with our 2? X plus 2. Good job, Reggie. Take a point. And that's it. We're done with that problem. Yep. And we want two different signs because this was negative. So anytime C is negative, you're going to have two different signs. Y'all want to do one more together?
I'm ready to do homework.
You want to? All right, try one without me, and then maybe homework.
Me, tarea no.
Sí. Uno más.
Okay,
Dos más.
sí, 3 más, 4,
Tres más.
5, 6.
Okay. ¿Nueve? No. ¿Por qué no? Alright, I can't see this far away. I'm blind. Chandler, are you with us? I guess not. Awesome. Alright, taters, y'all ready?
Yep.
N squared plus 4n minus 21. Go crazy, you can do it.
It's the same problem you do. Something like that.
No?
The big number has to be plus and the little number has to be minus.
Alright, what two numbers did you get multiplied to give us negative 21?
Negativo 7.
Mm,
Negativo 3.
good. And 21 and negative 1? Alright, and what goes in the bottom of our star? Alright, and then in our parentheses, is it n plus 7 or n minus 7? n plus 7, and then
M minus 3. Either way you have it.
alright, last one, then homework. Yes, tarea. Porque yo lo digo. It's only 4 problems.
Like you said,
Oh, homework's only 4 problems. Right. Alright, y squared minus 13y minus 90.
I already know this.
Do you?
I know this.
What?
What is it then?
Are you want me to tell you? Like, you want me to say your answer to this right now?
Huh?
No.
Alright, did y'all get y minus 18 and y plus 5?
Yep.
Fantastic. Alright, so your homework for tonight is on this foldable, and it's these 4 problems. If you don't have this foldable, I'm going to leave the problems up here for you to write down. If you don't have this foldable, I'm leaving the problems right here for you to write down. These are your homework problems, these 4.